Hi everyone, I'm Linda Reimer, one of the librarians at the Southeast DeMent County Library. Welcome to Library Connections, our weekly readers, viewers, and listeners advisory video cast. Enjoy. Library Connections number 38. This is the Friday, January 15th, 2021 edition of Library Connections. Kicking things off with the top 5 fiction bestsellers of the week from the New York Times. At number 1, The Duke and I by Julia Quinn, the first book in the Bridgerton series. Daphne Bridgerton's reputation soars when she colludes with the Duke of Hastings. This novel is the basis of the Netflix series Bridgerton. At number 2, Star Wars: Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule. In this installment of the High Republic series, a disaster in hyperspace may cause far greater damage. At number 3, Neighbors by Danelle Steele. A Hollywood recluse's perspective changes when she invites her neighbors into her mansion after an earthquake. At number 4, The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. The lives of twin sisters who run away from a Southern Black community at age 16 diverge as one returns and the other takes on a different racial identity, but their fates intertwine. And at number 5, The Viscount Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn, the second book in the Bridgerton series. Kate Sheffield gets in the way of Anthony Bridgerton's intent to marry. Moving right along to the top 5 nonfiction bestsellers of the week. At number 1, A Promised Land by Barack Obama. In the first volume of his presidential memoirs, Barack Obama offers personal reflections on his formative years and pivotal moments through his first term. At number 2, Untamed by Glennon Doyle. The activist and public speaker describes her journey of listening to her inner voice. At number 3, Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. The Academy Award-winning actor shares snippets from the diaries he kept over the last 35 years. At number 4, On Tyranny by Timothy Schneider. 20 lessons from the 20th century about the course of tyranny. And at number 5, Educated by Tara Westover. The daughter of survivalists who is kept out of school educates herself enough to leave home for university. Our first recommended read for this week is the new novel All the Colors of the Night by Jane Ann Krentz. After her last client pulled a gun on her, antique expert Sierra Raines is, needless to say, a bit leery of accepting another job involving paranormal artifacts. However, psychic North Chastain desperately needs her help in tracking down the powerful relic that put his father in a coma. Given the state of Sierra's checking account and the fact that false rumors about her previous work in a well-known auction house have severely limited her current career opportunities, this is one job to which Sierra just can't say no. But North is involved with the Foundation, an enforcement group that monitors the dark world of illegal psychic activity, and the two soon find themselves in grave and mysterious danger. Best-selling author Krentz launched her paranormal Pacific Northwest set Fog Lake series with The Vanishing in 2020. And now she's back with another brilliantly crafted installment in which she deftly draws on her mad genius for exciting plots and signature sharp sense of humor to create another sexy, suspenseful, and sublimely entertaining story that will have her fans and new readers alike sighing happily with satisfaction. And that is the starred booklist review of the title. Our second recommended read for this week is The Family Fang by Kevin Wilson. Author Ann Patchett has this to say about the novel: a funny, poignant, laugh and cry out loud novel about the art of surviving a masterpiece of dysfunction. Meet The Family Fang, an unforgettable collection of demanding, brilliant, and absolutely endearing oddballs whose lives are risky and mischievous performance art. Basis for the motion picture starring Nicole Kidman, Jason Bateman, and Christopher Walken. Annie and Buster Fang have spent most of their adult lives trying to distance themselves from their famous artist parents, Caleb and Camille. But when a bad economy and a few bad personal decisions converge, the two siblings have nowhere to turn but their family home. Reunited under one roof for the first time in more than a decade, and surrounded by the souvenirs of their unusual upbringing, Buster and Annie are forced to confront not only their creatively ambitious parents, but the chaos and confusion of their childhood. And that is the second recommended read for this week. Moving on to our first audiobook recommendation of the week, we have the new novel, The Children's Blizzard, written by Melanie Benjamin and read by Cassandra Campbell. The brutal storm that whirled up suddenly on an enchantingly mild and sunny day in January 1888, just as schools let out, became known as the Children's Blizzard for all the young lives it claimed. Best-selling historical novelist Benjamin, whose previous novels focus on prominent women, astutely defines this disaster by imagining those who were killed or forever changed by it. Sisters Raina and Gerda, whose immigrant parents were lured to inhospitable Nebraska by promises of a veritable Garden of Eden, serve as teachers in one-room schoolhouses while both are still in their teens. Raina becomes entangled in the woes of the family she boards with, as does little Annette, who is sold as a servant by her cruel and desperate mother. The combustible claustrophobia of this unhappy household is matched by the ferocity of the blizzard in heart-and-throat scenes of Raina and Gerda's valiant struggles to survive. Equally compelling is the story of newspaperman Gavin, reduced to writing, at the direction of the railroads, the fake news that delivered duped Northern European immigrants to the forbidding plains. In this piercingly detailed drama, riveting in its action and psychology, Benjamin reveals the grim aspects of homesteading, from brutal deprivations to violent racism towards Native Americans and African Americans, while orchestrating with grace and resonance transformative moral awakenings and sustaining love. Moving on to our second audiobook recommendation of the week. This one's nonfiction. It's called Keep Sharp: How to Build a Better Brain at Any Age. It's written and read by Sanjay Gupta. Gupta, a neurosurgeon and chief medical correspondent for CNN, offers hopeful advice on how to maintain a healthy brain in this bracing study. With many references to medical studies, he thoroughly debunks common myths about the brain, such as that languages become harder to learn as one ages, and he also explains the processes of various neurological functions, such as creating memories. Those looking for simplistic strategies for improving brain function and memory should look elsewhere, as Gupta subscribes to the notion that what is good for the heart is good for the brain. His holistic approach includes exercise, getting enough sleep, and a healthy diet, alongside maintaining a social life and trying new things. Gupta is particularly effective in chapters that address those coping with an Alzheimer's diagnosis and their caregivers. Especially useful is his list of logistics for those diagnosed with Alzheimer's and resources for patients and their caregivers. While Gupta's approach to better brain health doesn't break new ground, his optimism and the wealth of scientific information he corrals will embolden and comfort readers. Moving on to our first streaming recommendation for this week, it's the new Netflix TV series, The Blood of Zeus. Part of Netflix's line of original anime, this stylish and action-packed series combines elements of classical Greek mythology with modern epics like The Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. The story follows Heron, a young hero who learns that he is actually a demigod and that he is destined to play a vital part in a long gestating war against world-conquering demons. Fast-paced and ultra-violent, Blood of Zeus is a concentrated dose of adult fantasy. Our critic wrote, "The 8 episodes are fantastically engrossing and the imagery is gorgeous, adding layers of beauty to righteous rage." And that overview is by Noel Murray of the New York Times. Moving on to our second streaming recommendation for this week. This one's an oldie but a goodie. It's called The Italian Job from 1969 and it's available through Amazon Prime Video. Michael Caine is a Cockney crook leading a gang of thieves and drivers through an elegant plot to steal $4 million in gold from Turin, Italy, and hightail it to Switzerland. In sharp contrast to most caper movies, in which the focus is on the mechanics of the theft, the key to The Italian Job is the escape, exuberantly executed by a pack of Mini Coopers in one of the most famous car chases in all of cinema. But there's more to this than just fancy driving. Noel Coward supplies elegance as a dapper crime boss, Benny Hill is on hand for low comedy, and Caine brings to it his intimidable style, adding a timeless admonishment to the cinema canon. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. The overview is from Jason Bailey, again of the New York Times. And our final streaming recommendation for this week is The Trials of Muhammad Ali from 2013, available through Amazon Prime Video. Few sports figures have been as thoroughly chronicled by documentary filmmakers as Muhammad Ali. But this 2013 profile from director Bill Sagal is unique in its focus. It eschews boxing altogether, focusing instead on the period in which Ali was barred from the ring after his conversion to Islam in defiance of the Vietnam draft. To tell that story, Siegel calls upon a rich archive of remarkable television interviews, public speeches, and private footage. Taken together, the material serves as a valuable reminder that Ali was a provocateur and radical thinker who was altogether unwilling to coddle his public. And that review, too, is from the New York Times. And finally, our Hoopla recommendation for the week. This week's recommendation is a streaming video. It's the movie Miss Fisher and the Crypt of Tears from 2020. Glamorous lady detective Prina Fisher returns in a cinematic sequel to the widely popular television series Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries. With her trademark wit, impeccable style, and trusty pearl-handled revolver, Prina fights injustice on an international scale in this globe-trotting adventure. In 1929 Jerusalem, Prina rescues a young Bedouin girl held captive after a village massacre and reunites her with her uncle at a stately English manor. But then, a man claiming to have information for the girl is shot, leaving behind a mysterious pendant. Vowing to find the truth, Prina enlists the help of handsome Detective Jack Robinson to uncover priceless treasures, wartime secrets, and an ancient tomb bearing a terrible curse. And lastly, our Odd Duck recommendation of the week. And this week, I'm going to talk about how you can check to see if you are currently eligible to get the coronavirus vaccine in our area. This is through the official New York State website. You can go directly to the page where you check that you see in front of you by going to the website address covid19.vaccine.health.ny.gov. Now that's a whole internet mouthful, so if that's too much for you to write down, and that's perfectly cool, you can alternately go to ny.gov and then scroll down until you see the link for COVID-19 vaccine. It's on the left side of the page, and then you click or tap on that link and this same page will appear. And once you're on this page, you click the check eligibility link. So having done that, this page will display. And to check to see if you truly are eligible to get the COVID-19 vaccine right now, you click the Get Started link. And then, of course, an eligibility form will display, which looks like this. This is the top portion of it. You do have to scroll down a little bit to complete the entire form. And when you get down to the bottom of the form, there's an acknowledgement section. And after you've read it, you want to click on the little box to the left of the I consent text, which you see there by the red arrow, because you can't go any further if you don't do that. So once you've clicked that I consent box, a little check mark will appear there, and now on the right side of the page, you'll click the blue Submit button. And if you're over age 75, a first responder, or other person eligible to receive the vaccine right now, the next page that will display will show you a list of local pharmacies that you can contact to make an appointment to receive the vaccine. If you don't yet qualify to receive the vaccine, like me, because you're not over age 75 or a first responder, then the page you see shown here will display, indicating you'll have to wait a little bit longer to make an appointment to get your vaccine. But I do urge you to give it a shot through the website, the New York State website, because my mother, who is over age 75, made an appointment earlier this week, and she's already gone and gotten her first shot today. You have to have two, of course, currently. So she got her first Moderna shot today, which is actually Thursday, January 14th. So if you're looking to get a shot, check out the New York State website. You could go directly to the vaccine page if you like. But that's the hot scoop as to how you check to see if you're eligible. And that's our Odd Duck for this week. Have questions about this weekly video cast? Send an email to me at reimerl@stls.org, and I'll get back to you. Our current hours at the Southeast Steuben County Library are Mondays and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and currently we are closed on Wednesdays and Sundays. And that is the end of Library Connections for this week. What follows are a few informational tidbits. The tidbits include directions as to where you can connect with the library online via our website, catalogs, blogs, and social media pages. Links to articles used to create this week's video, otherwise known as references, and the library's contact information. The library's website is found at ssclibrary.org, and you can access our calendar, our catalogs, and find out a whole host of information about library programs, services, and holdings. Here we see the library's appointments page found on the library's website at ssclibrary.org, and you can alternately put in the exact website address, which is the library's website /making-appointments, but it's easier just to go to the library's website and then click the Make Appointment link, which is seen in purple near the top of every page on our website. Here we see StarCat, the catalog of physical library materials. That includes books, DVDs, etc. CDs, you can go to starcat.stls.org and search for items available at with your library card. You can log in and see what you've got checked out, renew items, request items, the Book Mine app, and basically see available in your entire Southern Tier library system. The digital catalog with companion apps Libby and Overdrive. Libby is the app for newer devices. Overdrive is the app for older devices and Kindle tablets. And you can also check out eBooks to a computer if you like. On the left side of your screen, you see the actual web page, stls.overdrive.com. That's the digital catalog. Also, of course, accessible through the apps. And just to note that you can also check out eBooks and send them to an e-reader. So if you have a Kindle Paperwhite, for example, you can read library eBooks on your Kindle Paperwhite. Hoopla. The Hoopla catalog features eBooks, comic books, downloadable audiobooks, and streaming videos, including both TV shows and movies. All Hoopla items are available for Southeast Steuben County Library card holders to instantly check out. You can check out items to a computer, an app device, or a smart TV. The library blogs full of fun content. We have 5 blogs, the Book Club for Adults, and that's sort of self-explanatory. It's information about the monthly book club meetings through Zoom right now. Corning NY History, our local history blog. Creation Stationery, the library's makerspace blog. Story Musings, a blog hosted by the library's resident author and head of adult services, Michelle Wells. And Tech and Book Talk, which is a mostly reader's advisory blog with a few helpful hints about using technology thrown in. If you have questions about library services during the pandemic or want to make an appointment for curbside pickup, you are welcome to go the traditional route and simply give us a call. The library's phone number is 607-936-3713, and it's the same number we've had for years. So if you have an old phone book floating around the house, you can find the library's phone number in your phone book too. Social media. You can connect with the library, read library news, and post questions to the library via social media. The library has pages on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. In relation, each video in this series is available on demand via the library's YouTube channel after it has first been shown on Facebook Live, and alternately, you can go to the Tech and Book Talk blog, and on Mondays you will find the latest episode of Library Connections accessible through the blog. And page 1 of our references for this week. Page 2 of our references for this week. And our final page of references for this week. And that's the program for this week. I'll be back next week with a new edition of Library Connections. Have a great weekend.